right, yeah, we are into summer break, as we know, and a columnist for the Globe and Mail is calling on moms, in particular, not to give into the pressure of trying to create that picture-perfect summer for their kids. So she says that this expectation has gotten worse with the 90s nostalgia that you're seeing on social media. Let them outside, get the landline back, play in the streets. So are you feeling any of this pressure to create the picture-perfect summer for your kids? What are you doing for Jaya?
Yeah, I do feel, well, we made a list right at the beginning of summer. I said, I made a list of 8 different things, like museum and zoo and blah, blah, blah. And I said, we've got 8 weeks of the summer, like you pick which week, what order you want to do these in. Because I want to make these really core memories. I feel like that window of influence that I have over him is quickly closing. And I think that sooner rather than later, he's going to be hanging out with friends and not prioritizing us. So I feel this intense pressure of time closing. I don't think my mother had that with us as much. I think it was more like, make your own memories. Bye. I don't, but maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know.
I wanted to ask you because you, not only are you a single mom of 2, but I wonder if you feel what I feel, which is nothing strikes fear into the heart of a mom more than the question, what are your kids doing this summer?
Yes.
Is that just me, or do you feel some of that?
No, I feel it, but then I have to remind myself the only people or things that I answer to are my kids and my bank account. So I try not to feed into that pressure, but it almost feels like kind of like well, what are you doing? Because this is what we're doing. So, oh, you're not taking them on like a cruise in the Mediterranean? That's what we're doing. It's like, no, I'm not doing that. I'll tell you what gives me pressure, though, are the emails of camps that want you to register in like February for summer.
What's that about?
Or there's this deadline of like 7 a.m. on a random Wednesday. You need to get on this website and try and get a spot for your kids. Like, that's what gives me pressure. It's just, it's not realistic, the timing of things and how we need to plan ahead, because in February, I don't know. Like, right now, one of them likes gymnastics. Is she gonna like gymnastics if I pay in February for this camp that she's gonna do in July? I don't know, but she's gonna have to do it, right?
I just feel like I do want to say this. I know Derek, who's a very involved father, so this is not a slack on any fathers right now. You know, Derek, he is. He told me on commercial break, he planned the whole summer for his kids. And you know what? I applaud you, Derek. So I don't want to slag. But let's still be honest. The majority of the planning is being done by moms. And I think the pressure here is we want to simultaneously have the unplugged, unconnected kid who's getting off their screen and, you know, having that old school childhood we all had. But we also, there's the financial pressure of that. That means you need to probably have somebody at home if your kids are younger.
Exactly.
So like, how is that gonna happen? And then the camp thing comes in, or if you don't have family or friends to rely on. And all of that emotional labor, which for me started in January to plan for, and I have one. So I just feel like this idea of the columnist writing saying, Mom, take the pressure off yourself. I get it, but the pressure is always there. Someone has to watch your kid while you're at work if you're a working mother. So there are these basics that I just can't seem to get around. And that's where I would say I wish more dads would step in and be like, let me take that off your plate.
Come on, Dad. You can line up on a Wednesday at 7 a.m. I'll just say this much. I'm not a parent, but if I were a parent, I would probably succumb to this pressure, because I think Gen X's, we romanticize our summers a little too much. We're like, remember, we could just leave and we didn't have to come home until the street lights came on and da-da. It's like, yes, we were also very bored, and me and Bob Barker and The Price is Right, I ate all the food in the fridge and my parents complained, but I grew up in a time where a lot of parents that I knew, the ones that are on our street, didn't plan their children's summer. You just hung out. And even worse, and I don't want to call any parents because I'm old enough now, but a lot of us were told by our parents, listen, you got to stay inside because you're not old enough to be home by yourself. So you got to stay in the house. So that's the reality for a lot of people. And when I became a camp counselor, I worked at this amazing camp. It was an arts and science camp, and then there was a sports camp across the way. And I saw what these kids were able to learn during the summer that was different than what they were learning in school. I instantly resented my parents, who took very good care of me, but I was like, I could have been doing this. I could have learned how to sew or learn how to swim or taken gymnastics. I really wish that I had that. So I understand if you grew up that way, if you have your own children, you're like, I gotta get them into something. I cannot have them sitting around. Bob's gone. We don't have Bob anymore. So I gotta get my kids signed up for something. But can we lower the price of these camps? I'm hearing thousands of dollars.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Who can afford that?
That's the question. It's a big socioeconomic
My kid will be at this
question,
table
you know?
all summer sitting next to me, chiming in.
Tomorrow on The Social, our kids host
Yes.
the show. Yeah, could you imagine?
No.
That would be hilarious.
It'd be off the rails real quick. B, Kwame, we love having you here.
Being here.
Thank you. Happy summer with the kids.
Same to you.
On that cruise in the Mediterranean.
It's true.
Hey, you, come a bit closer. We've got so many more must-see interviews, spicy debates, lifestyle tips, and pop culture moments. So subscribe to our channel by tapping the logo below and don't miss out.